Welcome. Let me play We're About to Learn. Here we go. Welcome to our Uke Like the Pros daily lesson, and this is lesson 3 of our ultimate, or 23 ultimate chord progressions for ukulele. And I'm real excited because we're going to have a pre-launch this week for this course. All high quality 4K cameras and notation on the screen, close-up angles of my left and right hand, and no crying babies. I don't think so on these. But anyway, that will be available here a little bit. I'll send out an email, but at ukelikethepros.com. So that will be a pre-launch for all week, and then we'll be launching it next week after Father's Day. So this one is pretty cool because it's going to use some sus2 chords and some sus4 chords, but it's also going to use 2 different strum patterns. So we're going to start with one for one measure, and then measure 2 switches it up. Then we go back to the first strum pattern and back to the second. So that will be a challenge also. And as always, thanks for being here. We are live, so feel free to leave a comment, ask a question, just say hi. And even if we're not live, you feel free to respond or leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I didn't mention it, but my name is Terry Carter. And we are coming live from Los Angeles, where we're going to be doing Monday through Thursday lessons up here due to my intense summer school schedule that I have started today. I also tried something new today. I got a little quiz up there on the board for you. You can figure out what that is. The clue is a cool song by Cream, the band Cream. Hopefully you'll figure that out. Okay, let's just jump right into this bad boy. First chord here is G, and you might not be able to see the question, but I'll take the chords off. All right, G chord. All right, so open 4th, first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, first finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and then my 3rd finger on 2nd string, 3rd fret. All right, so that's your first chord. And so if we look at the strum pattern for this particular one here, we're only going to look at the first measure over there, and we're going to be using, well, let's see. Yeah, a finger this time, first finger for this one. So we got G, it's going to be downstroke chord note 1, down up 8th notes on 2 and the and of 2, down note quarter note on 3, and then down up 8th notes on 4. And that's strum pattern number 1. So let's just play that on a G chord. 2, 3, just one measure. 4, so it's going to go down, down, up, down, down, up. One more time. 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Remember on the upstroke too, you don't have to hit all 4 of the strings like you do on a downstroke. If you just hit bottom strings 1, 2, and 3, that's totally fine for this particular one, especially on these upstrokes. They're just meant to be help propel the rhythm. All right, so that's your first measure. Now, if we look at the second measure, it says C sus2. Now, that may be a new chord to you. And by the way, there's your clue again. Opened up. I'm going to cover it up though with the C sus2 chord. So now if we look at the C sus2 chord, all we have to do if we're playing our G chord is add our pinky to the first string, 3rd fret. So G chord, and then add the pinky. You don't have to take off any of your other fingers, just add the pinky to the first string, 3rd fret. So open 4th, first finger on 3rd string, 2nd fret, second finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and then again, 2nd string, 3rd fret. That's our G chord, and just add the pinky to the 1st string, 3rd fret. Now I'm calling this a C sus2 chord, and it's mainly because if you listen to the bass in this particular chord, he's going to a C chord. This could also be called a G sus4 chord, but for our purposes, C sus2 is what I'm calling it. Now this is what I want to notice I'll get this one of these days. It's like backwards, right? Like, you ever try to back a boat up? If you're trying to put a boat in the water and you have the trailer, everything's reversed. That's what I got to get used to when I'm pointing here. So we're looking at this measure, the C sus2 chord, and notice the rhythm's different. It starts the same, quarter note downstroke on 1, beat 2 the same, down up on 2 with 8th notes, but 3 and 4 you're going to continue with that down up pattern. So just playing the C sus2, it's going to go down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or if I'm counting, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So let's go ahead and try now. There's your question. These two measures, G to C sus2 with that changing strum pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now C sus 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's do that again. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Oh, that was a bad one. 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'm laughing because my last class ended at 10:30, and I've had all this time, and of course last minute my Bluetooth speaker's not working. Well, not that this is a bad shirt, this is an awesome shirt, but I didn't have time to change into my Hawaiian t-shirt, and so that's what happens when you get like 2 hours sleep and drive to LA. But I'm happy to be here. So check this out. Let me bring up the next measure here. This is where it gets a little fancy here, and I'm going to play what you see on the screen here, the D sus4, D, D sus2, and back to the D. It's pretty cool. It's going to sound like this. 3, 4, and. Again, what's on the screen, and. Now, you might have, hopefully you heard in your ear, you should have heard this. So you have a moving melody within your chord changes, which is really cool. You could hear this on songs like Dust in the Wind by Kansas, the guitar part in that particular song. All right, so let's just jump into these chords. So first, we're going to start with a D sus4. Now, remember, we just played a C sus2 is what our last chord was. So all you have to do for this is I take off my pinky, and I take off my second finger. I keep my third finger here on the second string, 3rd fret, and then I just move my bar up. Actually, what I do is I form my D chord, but with my third finger down. So coming from the C sus2 again, I leave my third finger down. I take up my pinky, that's gone. I move my second finger up to the second string, 2nd fret, and then I bar strings 4 and 3 at the 2nd fret. And the reason why I do it is I'm essentially playing a D chord with my third finger down. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when I take off this finger, I need to have my D chord ready to go. Okay, so I'm coming from C sus2, and all I have to do is take my pinky off. I'm just reviewing this. Second finger goes up to the second string. So yes, you're going to have 2 fingers on the second string, and then first finger is going to bar strings 4 and 3 at the 2nd fret. So D sus4. You're going to do that down, down, up. Then you go to a D chord. All you have to do is remove your third finger, and you should have a D chord already sitting there. So just a regular old D chord. And that's just, again, down, down, up. So let's just do that one measure. D sus4 to D. 2, 3, 4. So it's D sus4, and then D. One more time. Ready? D sus4. 1, 2, and then there would be a pause here. And 3, 4, and. Okay, so now no chord. Ready? And 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Now we get to another chord, a really cool chord, a D sus2 chord going on here, and we're looking now at right here, D sus2, and from this I actually changed my fingering a little bit. So from the D chord, for me it'd be hard just to only remove one finger, so I actually changed my fingering to 2 and 3, so second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, third finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So that's how I play this. No, oh, it's a pretty chord. Open 2nd, open 1st, and it's going to go down, down, up, so same pattern as the previous 2 chords. And then when I go back to the D chord here in this measure here, I go back to my normal D fingering, and I'm going to go down, up, down, up. So if I play this measure here, D sus2 to D, which is here, this second measure here, it's going to sound like this, 3, 4, so D sus2, and D. That's kind of a weird jump. D sus2, and then to the D chord. You got to be real confident jumping to that D chord for this particular one. All right, so let's try what's on the screen here. I'm going to take the chord away. There we go. So what's on the screen? D sus4 to D sus2, and back to D. Okay, so here we go. 3, 4. So D sus4 to D sus2. Back to D. All while changing rhythms for those 2 measures. Okay, one more time. From the top. 3, D sus4, and D sus2, and D. Now, if that's too hard for you, just simplify it. You could start off with just half notes. So D sus4, 1, 2 to D, 3, 4 to D sus2. To D. You should be able to just do that nice and clean. Notice how pretty and clean these chords are sounding. Then if you can do that, step it up to quarter notes. D sus4, D, D sus2, and D. One more time. D sus4, D, D sus2, and D. And then if you can do that, do the rhythm on the screen. Ready, and down, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. All right, before we do the whole thing, I want to check in here. And my computer is a little far away because the chords wouldn't reach. So let me check in here and see where we're at. Let's see if anybody got the question on the screen here. Just a little something fun I decided to do for the heck of it. There I am, okay. And hey, look at Caroline Thomas is here. Fantastic. Hey, Chris and Arrow's here. So thanks for joining me, saying hi, and the rest of you people out there that are watching. Caroline's one of my good friends and students down at Santa Monica, but I'm at Trade Tech College right in downtown LA right now. All right, so what we're doing here is we're going to try this whole progression now. G, C sus2, each get a measure, and then what we just worked on, the D sus4, D, D sus2, and D. All right, here we go. 1, 2, nice and slow, G chord, and is. Now C sus2, new rhythm. Now hit your D sus4. Repeat now, G, time, so one more time, but I don't want to do it now because I want to add the slow backing track to this thing. So here we go. This is the slow backing track. This is 65 beats per minute. So it's just about the speed of a second, right? 60 seconds in a minute. So just a little bit faster than a second. We're going to do this progression here on the screen 4 times. Tap your foot, shake your head, 1, lock into the rhythm, ready, and. Now here's your C sus2. Hear that bass? That's 1s, and G. At the pinkie. That was slow, but hopefully you can nail it at that tempo. I kind of drifted off a little bit during that third time and that C sus2 strum pattern. But that's a slow one. We're going to do it one more time with a fast backing track. So before we do that, though, I just want to, again, say thank you for checking this out. And don't forget about the pre-launch that we're going to have on this entire course, 23 Ultimate Chord Progressions for Ukulele, although it's actually 26 lessons. But I'm just calling it 23 because, I don't know, it sounds cooler than Michael Jordan's number. So anyway, that will come soon. I'll send out a little bit of reminder on that. And we are now, before I get on out of here, going to do this again with a fast backing track at 100 beats per minute. Okay, so a little bit faster, a little bit more coordination, and a little bit more speed with the chords needed. So here we go. Nope, that's the slow. Here we go, here's the fast. 1, 2, here we go, and. When I mean lock into that rhythm, what I want you to listen to is that you really hear that snare popping on beats 2 and 4, which is pretty typical for majority of songs, especially rock and pop type songs. So you really want to you don't have to accent it like I am so much, but just get right on that beat. Okay, that's going to do it for today's lesson. Let me just do one final check here. It looks good. All right, thank you for being here. And as always, we'll see you in the next lesson.